Okay, so that's like that. So we've got that, but now we've got this part of the eye. So again, we don't want it too dark, so let's just rub some of it out. We've got that. Now this part here, I'm again doing it in the blue, but this will definitely end up in a black color. So I've left the grey in there because I know that that's got to become black, and I will detail that a little later, and the black will blend in with the grey. Okay, then we've got the eye, very fine line, so I'm going to just remove that little bit there. And then we've got the black part there. Let's center that eye. I've also got that little white section there that we need to be able to get, so leave that in there. And then I've got all the detail, which I do want to add that in. So let's just start finely. The lines don't have to go all the way to the end. You can just blend that through without overdoing it, so it looks more natural. And then on this side here, we're going to bring this nice and lightly over. It's not too dark, so again I'm going to rub a little bit of that line out so it's not so obvious, like that. And now this part here is a bit like just coming down a slide, really. It's really simple. Probably added too much colour in there, so I'm just going to rub some of it out, get it out a little bit, perhaps do it slower when you're doing it. And again, that's got to kind of come down a little bit lower. Okay, so that look like that. And then from here, we start with this line. That. We've got this little bit, which is obviously going to be a lot darker at the bottom, so I'm just going to intensify that and then fill it out all the way around. And then we've got this line here. Now, looking at this, because there's a lot of shading going on there, and then we've got the eye here, so I've got to get this part a little bit more precise. So I'm going to start from here. This is the black part. Comes all the way around, so we've got that black part there, all the way around to around about there. But then somehow here, it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. So now that line's got to go. There we go. That, and finishing in there. Okay, then we've got here, so we've got that line there. We've got more black. That's going to go on there. It'll be all dark black in there. And then we've got the blue that goes there all the way through to about there. And then we've got this really dark blue that is really representing more of the eyelid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to intensify that to kind of give me a framing around that eye socket area. Okay, so here we are here. Intensifying that in the blue. So I've got that, and we'll worry about the other areas afterwards. And then here again, okay, so we've got our eye outlined like that. Then we've got the eye here as well. We've got this part here, and then we are going to add the detail as we did before. Quickly put those in, or not so quickly if you want to do it a little bit slower so you don't go out of the line. Okay, that. Okay, so we've got that, and we can do the rest of the detail on that a little bit later. The nasal area here, we're going to worry about that later. And then here we have the mouth. So let's start with that. So we're going to go all the way again with our blue pencil. Outlining that mouth area. Okay, so we've got the mouth. That. Now I've gone over this in blue, but there's a lot of black there, so I'm going to work on that afterwards in the black. I'll just go over it. The black's dark enough to cover everything, so it won't matter. And I'm just removing the pencil that you can see, because it does not need to be there, to give us a clean looking image. Then we've got all this blue framing the mouth area, so I'm just going to follow that line, and I'm going to try and get this line here. So just some nice smooth brush strokes like that. To start off with, and then round we go, round, 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 to show some warmth and smoothness in this character. And then again from here, bringing that darker shade of blue all the way around that. And again all the way, I'm going to leave a little bit of white there, and I'm only adding that now because that's that little bit of white there, so I'll just allow for that. Okay, and then again here we've got here this line, so it's not so curved, it's more straight, and it comes around like that to show the mouth. So bringing that all the way around, go darker in this area here, and again here like that. Now remembering, we're going to build this color up, but in order to build it up, you just got to get it in the right places first, and then add more as required. And then the same here, so we're going to have from where the eye goes here. So let's start with the shading. Again, it's a little bit darker here, so just quickly add that in. Now you don't need to do this quickly, you can take your time, which is what you should be doing. I'm just being really mindful of the time it's taking me to do the drawing, but if you're taking your time, you will end up with a better result. So there's that, but we're going to blend that through. So first of all, let's blend that through like this, just fill that color up a little bit more there, and again here like that, and then move the brush stroke blending through the opposite way to follow through that curve, giving different pressures to the coloring so that you get some body in that, and it looks like it has a bit more definition and realness to it. So I'm going to remove that pencil out of there. Okay, now that's going to be a lot lighter. Now we're just trying to darken up the areas that need a lot more. First, and then we're out. So we've got the darker area there. We've got it all there. We're going to keep that outline going through all the way there, even though there's a bit of black in there, or grey. And then we come to this bit here. So we've got this line here, just gone out of the line there, so we'll just rub that bit off. Alright, I'll do that again. So we're about there. And here we're gonna go like that. Bring it across. Now, coloring this in, you can see the shade is roughly over here, so you could actually mark that up and then start with that, go a lot darker in that area as I'm doing here, like that, intensify it a bit more like that, and a little bit there like that, bring it down like that, and then just fill it in nice and softly everywhere else there. There you go. Okay. All right, so then we have the other side. So let's take it from here. So again, we're going to outline it, and that's not difficult. Outline this side as well. As you can see, the darker area is kind of there. So I'll just line that all up like that. And I'm going to start with the heavier brush strokes in that area, just simply shading. Try not to go too rough on that pencil if there's a sharpness on it, but I'm pressing quite hard, but my pencil's a little bit blunt on one side and fully sharp on the other. So that's how I'm using it to get the different effect. Now, really softly, without pressing hard on that softer, blunt side of it, filling the whole thing in nicely as much as is needed. Go over and over it if needed. Lightly, and then harder on the area that needs to have the darker shading. Okay, so we've got the effect that we wanted there, and then we've got this top section, which again I'm just going to outline it, and it's supposedly meant to be a lot darker there as an effect. The same thing over here, so let's take it from here. There will be black added to this bit. So I'm just going to go a lot darker there, and even here, and I'm going to just separate that a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, just add a bit of darkness to that, and then shade the opposite way to fill that out. Give it a bit of a rub, and there you go, you've got that nice smoothness. Okay, so now we're back to this side here. Now we've got this eyelid or upper eyelid area. It's quite shaded, and it comes from all the way down here. So just bringing it from there all the way up. Just not too dark at first. Let's just get the color in there and make sure it's in the right place before we start the heavier concentration of color. Okay, so now I'm ready to start feathering with a little bit more heaviness in my brush strokes. And the fine tuning of any artwork is going back through it all and just making sure that it's as good as you can get it. If you have to add anything or just adjust anything, you can do that at the end. Think of drawing as, you know, therapeutic. It's for mindfulness. It allows you to really reset your brain and just have some me time, really. So it's a beautiful way to start your day. I love doing it on Saturdays. It's usually a day for me to get things in perspective again, and just not feel the pressure that builds up through the week with all the other deadlines and things that we have to get done, or responsibilities and stuff. And I just feel like it's just a really beautiful way to feel fulfilled and to give back as well. Okay, so getting this, you can see I'm building it up in there, carefully building it up, keeping in mind this picture is bigger, so there needs to be a bit more going on here.